Alright now, here's where we're at on the holster. I've done the wet molding and I wet it with hot tap water because I want the leather to stiffen so it'll hold its shape when you draw the gun. And it has a nice friction fit. I got a fuzzball in my hand. So it won't easily fall out, but it can be pretty easily drawn. Well, it's a left-handed, so it can be pretty easily drawn. I have enough space there to get my knuckles around it to get a good grip on it. And that was the whole idea behind the design of it. There you go. Now, oh, I also reburnished all the edges. Now, since I molded it with hot water, what that tends to do is to, I guess you might say, rinse or remove the natural oils that are in the leather. So I need to replace that. I'm going to use some pure neat's foot oil. Neat's foot oil is, well, basically I call it cow juice because it comes out of cows. So I figure the leather comes out of cows, the neat's foot comes out of cows, it never dries, it never goes rancid. So I'll just use that to replace the oils that the hot molding or the hot water wet molding removed from the leather. Doesn't take a lot. You don't want to put a lot in. Just a little bit will do you. And this is my first step in doing the finishing work. The finishing work, the way I do it, takes days. But it results in a nicely finished holster, good looking holster, or good looking leather product that will last for years, if not generations. So I just wiped the neat's foot on. Like I said, it doesn't take a lot. And then I take and I wipe it back off. Now, it's going to soak into the leather a little bit, so obviously you're not going to wipe all of it off. But like I said, all you need is just a little bit into that leather. And that's it. Now I'll let that sit for a day or two so the neat's foot oil can soak into the leather. And then it'll be time for a top coat. And I'm going to use, let me see if I can find it here. There it is. Tan coat for my top coat. Alright, I've given the neat's foot oil some time to soak in. Give it a buff in here, just to make sure there's no excess on it. And now, it's time for our top coat. Gonna shake that. Put it in my clamp. And what we're gonna do is take us a dauber, wipe it on, and then wipe off the excess with a paper towel. Again, we just want a thin layer. It'll soak into the leather a little bit and give it a nice protective top coat. Take that and wipe it off. And I made sure to get it down in the stitch line too, because that'll help to strengthen and reinforce that. Well, it won't really reinforce it, but it'll protect that stitch line. There we go. Now I'll flip it over, do the other side. Again, get it in that stitch line. Now, you don't have to be neat with this. You just want to get the stuff on there. No real hurry, no real rush. It'll soak in a little bit. Wipe off the excess. Okay, I'm going to get the strap too. And do the same thing. Now, as it dries, it goes through some stages. It starts out being kind of sticky. Then it dries a little more, and it gets to where it's not completely dry, but it's not sticky. It's just a little bit soft yet, and that's when you can buff it. And that helps to bring out the shine. Y'all see that? Yes, it's dry enough on the back here. Also, I'm going to hit the edges, because the gum trag itself, the gum tragacanth, which I use on my edges to get a good burnish on them, it won't keep the edges good looking by itself. As this is being used, if I just use gum tragacanth on it, the edges will start to get well, they start to get fuzzy, they start to break down, get dull. But by top coating the edges, it keeps them party. Now, the very last step, after all this is done, is I'm going to go ahead and set the snap. But I got to give this time to dry. And again, when it gets a little bit drier, I can go ahead and re-burnish that edge some more. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry, and we'll get that snap set, and we'll come back and look at the finished product. Anyway, that's how it's looking.